Happy Tuesday, everyone. This is Emmanuel for History and Coffee with our On This Day series for March 19th. Today we are celebrating the birthday of comedian and actor Jackie Moms Mabley, who was born in North Carolina on March 19th, 1897. Her cutting-edge comedic work critiqued the unfair expectations placed on women in American society. For example, one of her recurring bits that she performed throughout her career showcased her fictional marriage as a teenage girl to an elderly man and talked about the age and gender dynamics involved. Her professional rise from early 20th century vaudeville to selling out the Apollo Theater in the 1960s shows the breadth and spectacular rise of Black women's 20th century professional success in the performing arts. While Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, and others awed audiences with their vocals, Mabley brought joy and laughter to eager crowds. Historian Caitlin Hale Wood argues that by adopting the persona of Moms, which she based on her maternal grandmother, Mabley burst through both racial and gender barriers. Indeed, quote, "The persona of Moms allowed Mabley to perform alone and outside the confines of sexually exploitative expectations placed upon many other Black female performers of her time." End quote. Mabley later discussed this socially impactful character herself in an interview, explaining, quote, "The show people named me Moms. Yes, both, of both races, because even though I was young, they would always bring their problems to me to settle. And then so many, sometimes they get away from home and wouldn't be able to get back, and I'd send them home. Or I'd always put on a pot or something like that when I knew that those ones that didn't have very much money, I'd see that they were fed. So they named me Moms. I didn't give myself that name." End quote. Highly active during the civil rights movement, Mabley saw this movement struggle as intertwined with her own work. In a 1960 interview, she stated, quote, "To tell the truth, you don't have to look for material, darling. The way the world's going now, it's funny. It is, it's comedy, and especially the truth. The things that I record, very few of them are jokes. Like about that baby, I do think that's time to wisen up a child. What I got and how I feel. And goodness knows I started young enough raising children. Has a lot to do with those first words, how you raise that child. Tell that child the truth. Why lie? Because those lies will register." End quote. She also emphasized how she connected her own story to the stories of her enslaved ancestors. In that same interview, she asserted, quote, "My grandmother was born during slavery. My great-grandmother was a grandmother in slavery. My great-grandmother was a wonderful woman. She was mostly all Cherokee Indian. She lived to be 117. Her words was like gold nuggets. I used to stay with my grandmother a lot, and after Granny got so old, then she came to live with my grandmother. So she would tell me stories of slavery." End quote. Partly through these stories, Mabley became an excellent storyteller who engaged deeply with the world around her. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will join me again tomorrow for another edition of our On This Day series.